What's going on, everybody? My name is Logan Armstrong. Thank you for coming to my YouTube channel today. Today we're going to be talking about what's in my camera bag for 2018. If you're new to the channel here and you're a new subscriber, I think my channel literally has quadrupled in the past month since I released my 2017 my year video. So thank you for that. I think it has like 45,000 views right now. And so I think I'm at like 2,000 subscribers, which is just mind-blowing. So thank you for that if you're new here. And if you're new here and you're not subscribed, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. Join us here. It's a grand old time. But jumping straight into the video, we're gonna be talking about what is in my camera bag, at least for the beginning of 2018. Now I have some things kind of planned up to where I might be changing a few things around, but this is what is gonna be my bag, kind of my gear list moving into 2018 for my freelance projects that I get paid for, as well as my personal projects. And if you stay around, you'll get to see a personal project that I threw together from my recent trip in Chicago with Zach Kravitz. He helped me out with that. So it's a grand old time. Stay tuned for that. So let's just jump right into it. We're gonna start out with the body that I use for my camera and my filmmaking. I use the Lumix GH5. I absolutely love this camera, cannot say enough good things about it. When I purchased it, it was about $2,000 for the body, which now I think you can even get the body on Amazon for like, I want to say $1,600, $1,700 with no lens. I mean, you do have to purchase a lens then, but I mean, that's ridiculously cheap for just how much of a punch this little guy packs. It is an incredible camera. I cannot say enough good things about it. I mean, it shoots 4K at 60 frames a second, which I've been using a lot lately. I actually haven't been shooting a whole lot in the variable frame rate mode, which if you know anything about Lumix, is kind of their slow motion. I haven't really been using that a whole lot recently, mainly 4K. I've been shooting a lot of 4K and I've been really enjoying that. So that's a camera body that I shoot with and I absolutely love it. I also use this for most of my photos. If you wanna see some of my photos, go ahead and check out my Instagram. It's at Logan Strongarms. Don't judge the handle there. It is what it is. So yeah. So moving on to the lenses that I use, we're gonna start with the first lens that I use, that I purchased and that I use not too often actually, pretty much in low light only, and that is the 25mm 1.7. It's the fastest lens that I have for my GH5. And just to preface this, if you're not familiar with Micro Four Thirds cameras, which is what the GH5 is, it being Micro Four Thirds, meaning that the focal length, it being 25mm, mean it has a 50mm equivalent if you're using any other platform essentially. So just keep that in mind. When I say 25mm, it really means 50mm. I know it's confusing. It actually confused me when I started out, but just bear with us and you'll kind of catch a drift as we go along here. So 50mm, kind of like your Nifty 50. I think this was like 150 bucks on Amazon. Super cheap, super light. It feels like plastic. The build quality's not very good, but it's good to have for low light, just to kind of throw in your bag in case you need something there. The next lens, which is probably what I use most often, is what's gonna be on my camera body, probably 80% of the time, is my 12-35 2.8 Pro by Lumix. I absolutely love this lens. It's extremely versatile. It being a 12-35, it's actually a 24-70 full frame equivalent. And this lens is super sharp, especially when shooting in 4K. I use this a lot for like weddings and projects that I have. This is traditionally what I have on my gimbal. It's pretty much on my camera all the time, and I take most of my photos with this lens as well. Next is my most recent lens purchase, which I kind of got talked into getting this lens when I went to the camera store, and I didn't know if I really regretted it at first. I went in, looked at it, thought it was nice because it was nice and shiny, left, came back and bought it. Do I regret buying it? Not at all. I absolutely love it. It's the Olympus 40-150 2.8 Pro. This lens is an absolute beast. It being a 40-150, again, that means it is an 80-300mm equivalent focal length to a full frame sensor. So I can have this on my GH5 at 300mm, and I can shoot handheld with it. That's pretty amazing. And for client work and for photos and video, it's amazing. It's a bigger lens, but on a full frame equivalent, to find something this size and this powerful and this sharp, you're not gonna really find it. It's kind of expensive. And just to preface this, anything that you guys see as far as gear goes, I will link in the description below so you can check it out and find it there if you're interested in purchasing any of the equipment that I use. So next, we're gonna go with let's do what I use to stabilize my footage. and that is going to be my gimbal. I use the Zion Crane. I've gone over this in a previous video on my channel. If you want to find out a little bit more in depth, you can check that out. Great gimbal. I've had it for probably like 8 months now, and it hasn't really done me any wrong. It's a solid gimbal. I have a quick release plate on there, so once I get it balanced on my GH5, I can just take it on, take it off as I please while I'm shooting, and it stays nice and balanced. Let's go to aerial shots. I use the Mavic Pro, and I traveled with this actually in Europe. I'll overlay some footage while I was in Europe during, I guess, me talking right now. So you can just see kind of the impeccable quality that this little guy can produce. Absolutely love this drone. It fits inside the kind of the I can't even think of the bag. It comes with the bag. It has some extra batteries. So I have this, and I have 3 batteries total. So it gets you an hour of flight time, which is honestly ridiculous. I don't think I've ever flown in it for an hour. That's just absurd. But with that said, I usually fly it for about 20 minutes on shoots, and absolutely love this drone. Super sharp, shoots 4K, super small, which is just amazing. I mean, it can practically fit in your pocket. So just, yeah, I mean, it kind of speaks for itself. Moving along with the drone, I have a cheap set of ND filters. So if I'm shooting in harsh lighting conditions, I can throw one of these on. Since we're on the topic of ND filters, I do have an ND filter for a variable ND filter. I just buy kind of the cheaper middle of the road ones off of Amazon. Also, I'll link some of these below. I have one of these filter threads for each of my 3 lenses that I use. They just come in handy when I'm shooting out in some harsh lighting conditions. Next, we're going to talk about storage and kind of miscellaneous stuff, I guess. So for my SD cards, I use this little Think Tank. It's a pocket rocket. Think Tank Pocket Rocket's what it's called. It really just comes in handy. Throw all my SD cards in there, throw it in my bag, can kind of set it and forget it, and just forget about it when I'm on my shoots. Don't have to worry about organizing it, and it stays all in one localized place. As far as audio, picking up ambient audio, I'm a huge proponent of sound design in my videos. So just getting audio on set really helps me in my sound design in post-production, being able to kind of build that environment, build that world around your video when you're editing in post. I just have this little Rode VideoMic Go, I think it's what it's called. Again, link below. A little powerful, good little mic. It doesn't require any batteries, you just plug it in. It's kind of discreet, which I like. Instead of having a big Rode mic, it doesn't like stick in front of people's faces. It's not as intimidating. It's on that more discreet side, so you can capture audio without kind of being in the way of anybody. Some other things, obviously extra batteries, extra chargers. As a lav mic, I use the Rode Lav Plus, I believe it's called, which I'm using right now to pick up audio for this video. That kind of covers it, really. So as far as editing goes, I edit everything on my 13-inch MacBook Pro. Can't say enough good things about this computer. It's a beast. The battery life kind of sucks when running more than one piece of software when it's not plugged in, but I can't gripe about that too much. It's a small form factor, so I kind of gotta take that as a grain of salt. So as far as camera bag goes, we'll kind of wrap it up with that. I use a brand called PacSafe. I don't know the specific model number that this is. I'll link it below in case you guys are interested in that. But I absolutely love this bag. Traveled with it in Europe for about a month straight. Didn't have any issues with it. It is thief-proof, or not thief-proof, like thief-resistant. It has a bunch of cool locking mechanisms, so you don't have to worry about it getting pickpocketed or anything like that when you're walking around shooting in public. Has a lot of cool safety measures. Really, a really awesome bag. And it fits all of my gear. Also has a cool spot for like my GorillaPod, which I really never use, but I mean, having it on your bag kind of makes you look like a photographer, so it pretty much ups your street cred when you have one of these strapped on your bag, so you actually look like you know what you're doing. And then again, like I mentioned, keeping my drone in the little Fly More bag that they give you. Kind of looks like a man purse, so I don't really like carrying this around just by itself. I kind of like to have this with my other bag, that way it looks like I'm not just carrying around a purse. So, little pro tip for you, don't just carry this around unless you want to seem like you carry a purse with you. But that pretty much, I think, wraps it up. I mean, I have some other lighting equipment, stands and tripods and stuff, but that's not really what goes into my camera bag necessarily, so I'm not really gonna go into detail about that at all. So I guess now in the video, we can go ahead and move into the more cinematic portion, which I know most of you are probably subscribed for. So we're gonna jump right into that. This next video is kind of the culmination of using all this gear to not its fullest potential, but my fullest potential, and putting together hopefully something cinematic that you guys enjoy. I'll probably end the video after that closes out. So if you do like the video, please leave a comment if you have any questions. Like the video, that really helps the channel grow. And subscribe if you're new here, and if you're a returning subscriber from my year video, again, thank you. I'm blown away with the amount of support that I've gotten back from that. It really means a lot. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time, and enjoy the video.
When a moment unfolding in front of me appears to be particularly special, whether by beauty or experience, I capture it. Forever attempting to capture past moments as I remember them, cherishing them forever.